Okay, we're working on PR3-8. So what I've done again is I've taken the problem from Connect and I've moved it into Excel, and we'll just solve it within Excel, but it's the exact same problem. You can do the same thing. I just copied and pasted it from Connect and put it in Excel, or you can solve it by hand or, outside of Excel if you'd like. Okay. First question says Poxy Vibe Company has sales of 20,800 units and the following per unit financial information. They give us per unit information here. They say, assuming a tax rate of 30%, what is current net income? Okay, to solve for current net income, the first thing I think we need to do, let's go ahead and multiply this out. So I'm going to take this operating income on a per unit basis and multiply by 20,800. That's how many units they tell us up here. So this give us total operating income. And then what I want to do is multiply that by 70% or one minus the tax rate. So we'll take this and we'll multiply it by zero point 0.7. And that'll give us our net income, assuming a 30% tax rate. Okay, next thing they ask us to do, it says Poxy Vibe has a target operating income of 41,510. How many units must it sell to reach that target? Well, to do this, we need to take our operating profit, our target profit, I should say, and then add that to our fixed cost and then divide by the contribution margin per unit. So we needed to get total fixed cost. So again, I'm going to take this and multiply this by 20,800. Again, I'm just pulling that from number of units they give us here. So now that we've got this, I'm going to set this equal to 58,240 plus our target profit of 41,510. Oh, whoops, 41,510. And then divide by contribution margin per unit, which is listed here. And that gives us our amount of units. So I'm not going to put a dollar value next to this because this is actually units that we have here to sell to reach that target profit. Okay, the next one says Poxy Vibe predicts that it can cut fixed advertising cost expenses by 10,400, resulting in a reduction in unit sales of 10%. What will be the operating income if Poxy cuts 10,400 in advertising expenses? Okay, so to do this, what we need to do is if we have a reduction in the number of units that we sell, which is 10%, we're going to need to calculate a modified contribution margin here. So if we reduce the number of units, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equal 20,800, which is the original number of units. If we reduce by 10%, I'm going to multiply it by 90% or zero point 0.9. And then I'm going to take that and multiply that by our contribution margin per unit, which gives me this amount here. Then the next thing that I'm going to do, now we have an adjusted contribution margin and we need to subtract fixed costs from it, but fixed costs are also modified. Looks like fixed costs are reduced by 10,400. Now remember, fixed costs don't vary with total number of units. So even though we have a per unit fixed cost here, right? For total, they don't vary. They stay the same. Now, on a per unit basis, they can decrease per unit if we increase volume. But remember, we're talking about total fixed costs here. And that's what we need to subtract from the 78,624 is total fixed cost. So we're going to use the same amount of fixed costs that we have, but we're going to adjust it for this advertising expense that they say that they can reduce. So we're going to say 78,624 minus our fixed cost of 58,240 minus our 10,400 because we're eliminating that portion of the fixed cost. And that's what's causing a decrease in our sales volume as well. So this gives us our new amount of operating income is 30,784. And this is a dollar sign as well. This one's units, this one's dollar as well. Um, and that should be it. Just follow the rounding sort of amounts that they want. How many, they want you to take it out or round up or round down, whatever it is on Connect, just follow that. But that finishes this problem. So I will stop sharing and stop the video.